Ah, ooh, 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 ah. I did it twisty. Ooh, ah, oh, I forgot to get more beer. All right, we'll start this just with one beer, I guess.
And when you gotta take a break, you can run and grab the
Yeah,
other one.
that's right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome all. It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks since we last talked about Saga. Welcome back. This is the comic book club, Mouthbreathers talking comics with their mouths. We like comic books here, and this week we are covering, as you can see, Josh Williamson, Tom Riley, and Jordi Berlaire's G.I. Joe miniseries, Duke, as a part of the launch of the Energon universe. This series is a ton of fun. I am not a G.I. Joe guy, and this book has me like itching to get the ongoing when it comes out in November. Like I am like so jazzed on this book. Um, Fellas, as always, let's start with initial thoughts. I am, of course, joined, as always, by Ben Hill on the screen above me,
What's up?
Manny Tavares, who is
Yo.
just a voice on the stream, and then this week's special guest, returning guest, Noah McCann.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love to be here.
Hell yeah,
That's
fuck
right.
yeah. So, Noah, you're the special guest. Why don't you tell us your initial thoughts about Duke?
I love it, man. I think I love it a lot more like on the reread, like I was saying earlier. This was just a lot of fun, and even though I'm not really like a G.I. Joe person, I didn't grow up with it. Like I enjoyed this a lot. It was so much fun just seeing shit just go down.
100%. This is like 80s action movie to me, and that's why I love this book.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is just like it's a man and his government is against him and he's uncovering a conspiracy, and it just has so many like references and like feelings of like Commando and Predator and like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and like Stallone in the 80s movies and like stuff like that.
Arnold.
Like yeah, big
With the
Arnold vibes.
M60. Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
I had such a blast. Ben, what were your thoughts?
Dude, I 100% agree. I got so many Arnold vibes, especially from like Eraser, where he's trying to, circumvent the government and shut down this big operation that's going on with all these mass weapons. But I have to admit, so number one, don't kill me. Loved Transformers as a kid. Loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Thundercats. G.I. Joe just was not like, if it was on, I'd watch it. But that was not like my viewing choice out of everything. Like G.I. Joe came on, I'd rock out to the song, and then, probably like ran off and played with my Ninja Turtle and Transformer action figures. So I knew enough about G.I. Joe and always loved the more you know segments and everything. Yeah, because knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
I absolutely love that. With this book, I have to say this, since it tied in so much to everything that was going on in the Energon universe and has a direct tie-in to Transformers issue 2, thought it was so awesome to see all these things just connect. Whether or not it was something where you don't have to read the book, you didn't have to read Transformers. It definitely helps to give some of the gravitas and what happens to Duke or Conrad, which I didn't even know his real name. Like he was just always Duke to me. So when they're talking about Conrad in here, I'm like, who's that dude? But
Bro.
I love seeing him like just start to go to hell and everything, where he's always been the button up straight lace like buzz cut, and then you get like the long flowing Brad Pitt locks going on.
Yeah.
Tom Riley's character design for him is just fantastic. I
Oh, yeah.
love Clutch, just everything. So dude, yeah, as they were just reimagining the start of Duke re GI Joe, I just thought this was so cool.
Oh, yeah. It was.
Yeah,
I checked out his Tom Riley's website and saw some like character designs. They weren't nothing from Duke was on there, but it's cool to see like his portfolio and everything. So if anyone hasn't looked at that, go check it out. But he's definitely got an eye for character design and just having fun on the page. I mean, I definitely had a blast reading this thing. So definitely got just having fun with my toys vibes.
100%. And
Yeah.
as you said, Manny, I don't think you hit this hard enough, but like just go type in Tom Riley character designs. Like his character concepts or his mock-ups, they're all pretty formulaic, but it just the way that he poses the characters and adds the different colors and starts to build the character concepts, dude, it's so cool. So cool. And because it gives you a sense of scale as you're looking at each character, right?
Yeah.
They may have the same pose, but it just shows the different definition of, because I saw one for Baroness, I saw one for Duke, one for it's the guy that is the rock and roll dude.
His name is Rock and Roll.
Rock and Roll.
That's my favorite.
This is so freaking cool. So total 100%. What about you, Kev? What did you think?
Yeah, I love these books. The mini series is like my preferred format, I think, for a lot of comics, and I think they did a great job of like maintaining a high energy pace throughout. I absolutely just like so on board with G.I. Joe, and again, did not play with the toys, not my like forte at all, but like you make it like a Stallone movie and I'm hooked for life. And I have a same fondness for all the other minis that they've done so far. I love Cobra Commander. Destro's been a lot of fun. Scarlet is really solid. Shout out Marco Ferrari on them interiors. So we will cover all of those on the stream eventually, which I'm excited about. But now we're going to talk about Duke. But before we talk about Duke, I, of course, have to make a quick plug. So, if you didn't know this and you're watching this video or stream for the first time, we are actually comic book creators. And you can buy our books online. So, if you go to mouthbreathersguild.com, you can find yourself a copy of Renowned. It is our anthology of high fantasy and sci-fi stories, real monster of the week fun times that takes place in the world of Phyrexia. Mad King creates some evil monsters. People gotta kill them. It's a blast. Manny also has his dark fantasy book, Remise. If you are into Berserk and dark fantasy and grimdark, Ben, you're not doing it in the right place. I'm below you on the stream.
I'm trying to do the Bane of White on my side.
These things rule. And then also, you can find all of the people on this call in our Western anthology, All You Can Eat. This is Mouthbreathers Guild's first official anthology book, where you've got a Western with samurais with me and Manny. You've got a Western with a samurai with Ben. And then you've just got a straight up Western with Noah. We're proud of this. You can get all of these books on our website, mouthbreathersguild.com. Visit mouthbreathersguild.com. Join our Discord so you can join our community of artists, hang out. We like to talk nerdy in there. It rules. And then I will also quickly plug books that are not available there, but you can read them online. Legend of Carl, Manny's fan comic for Deep Rock Galactic. It rocks. Look at them watercolors. Oh my God. And then, of course, Ben Hill's solo book, The Time Police, which you can get
on Etsy. Go to the Time Police store on Etsy.
Hell yeah. Fuck nice. Yeah. And then Noah has a book as well. You can find Noah at the following place.
You can find me on Instagram.com. Just type in my name, Noah McCann. It's spelled M-C-H-A-N, all one word. And then you can look up the writer of the story, JW Storytelling, and he has links to The Legend of Kaiden on there, which is our book we're doing together. And we're coming up with a new chapter starting next year, so look out for it.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Go Joe. All right, Duke issue 1. I mean, what a perfect one-pager introduction, which, by the way, I'm just looking at the variant covers for a quick second. I don't have them. I just have Tom Riley's cover, which is great. But he got a cover from David Aja, Steve Epting, David Mack, Marco Ferrari did one, and Maria Wolf and Mike Spitzer did one. And then there's other folks that I'm not as familiar with. Tyler Boss, Andrea Sorrentino, John Boy Myers, Santa Fung. That's cool. But just an unbelievable stat cast of people doing variants, because this was a big thing. Do Ryan and Bailey not have stuff in the anthology? They do. They're just not on the call with us, so they don't get a shout out, Brock. Thank you. It's because we're misogynists.
Just like your Bionicles don't get a shout out either, because Bionicles suck.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
I'm booting you off the server.
Hold on.
You're banned.
That was just a shot at Brock. That's all.
No, Bionicles rule. That is official Mouthbreathers Guild canon, that the Bionicles rule. Don't ever let that get twisted. Don't ever confuse it.
That was my own personal shot at Brock. That should no way, shape, or form represent the full opinion of Mouthbreathers Guild.
Okay. Regardless, Duke, this you better plug the girls right fucking now. Okay, Brock. We have very talented female artists in our anthology. Ryan Oakley art, right. And Bailey Powell design. on Instagram, or you can go to mouthbreathersguild.com. Their links are also there. If you just want to click the guild tab, you'll see all of our members of the guild who have contributed published works to the guild.
Right.
They are delightful people and incredibly talented artists and good friends of ours.
That's right.
Shout out Ryan and Bailey. Jumping back into Duke. What's up with the lighting here? I just feel like it keeps getting dark, and I don't know why. Is there like some sort of correction happening on my webcam? Regardless,
I think it's just your flat bill. Your flat bill blocks the light and it shatters your face, and so it has to color balance. It just doesn't like you.
It just doesn't like you.
See, that's not doing anything. Anyway,
I don't know. Duke's awesome.
yeah. So, I mean, you get this great intro of him in different war zones, helping civilians in his plane, and then boom, a man of action. I love this 2-page spread so much as an intro to Duke. What a perfect tone setter. And again, I love the little screen print texture that you got going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, it's really nice.
Manny, talk about textures. This is your lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a nice subtle use of like adding those textures. It's not like over bearing or anything. Like even throughout this whole book, I mean, it's mostly like flat colors, you know. But yeah, it's got a little touch of like halftone, like screed tone kind of stuff, and like I like that. That's what I'm about. I don't like that hard gradient shit.
No.
You know who he kind of reminds me of? Tom Riley. Kind of reminds me a lot of like Chris Samney and Michael Cho. It's just that
Yeah.
school of like comic artists is like
Yes, sir.
he fits right in with them.
Yeah, it's like cartoony, or like it's like stylized, but also like still in like the realism zone a little bit.
Yeah, very classic.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's energetic at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Wasn't to discredit Tom at all, but when I saw like Duke sitting on the shelf and just saw the cover, I was like, holy shit, I didn't know Chris Samney was doing like a Energon U book. And then I saw it was Tom Riley. I'm like, holy crap, I think I'm gonna be into this, so I'm picking it up. Like, and I was not disappointed at all.
Spoiler alert, this same creative team is doing the G.I. Joe ongoing coming out in November.
Yes, they are.
Which is like enough for me to buy it. Like, I'm just so stoked.
By the way, you can see cover 1. Like, just search online for Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley, G.I. Joe cover 1. Cover looks freaking awesome. They get to create their own brand new G.I. Joe character. So it's going to be an ongoing new character that they introduce to the universe. And it comes out in November. I know we were kicking that around. So put that on your pull list for November.
That's sick.
Can do.
I know he's a toy design. Like he's designed some toys too. Tom Riley. So.
Well, I did not know that.
Dude,
that's really cool.
Oh really?
I want new G.I. Joe figures.
Really?
After this Duke book, I want new G.I. Joe figures.
It has to be coming, right? They can't squander. I mean, all of the new stuff. I want Transformers toys that look like Daniel Warren Johnson's drawings.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen those like Hellboy ones and like the Dragon Ball Z like crazy ass?
Joe's name is Cart. It's
like crazy ass toys that look like they're colored like straight out of the comic. Like they look like flat, but they're 3D. It's insane. Yeah. I would like that. I would like G.I. Joe shit from that style. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh my god. And so, for context, for those in the story, that's callback chat. We get this allusion to what happened in Transformers issue 2. I saw what I saw. You weren't there, and then you page turn and you see him. Which Transformer is this?
Starscream.
The Starscream? That's what I thought.
Starscream. Yep.
And then he killed Starscream, or he killed Duke's partner, Frosting. And this is like the first time we see two universes collide in the Energon universe.
That's something that if we next time if we get to chat to Dan, we'll just have to ask him, like, was Frosting just a joke? Is that an inside joke? Right? He splats him, and it's just like, frosting on a cake. Just I don't know.
Well, the character's name was Frost. I don't remember where I saw that, but that's
Frost.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tyler Frost.
Dude, because if you've not read it, he gets the pancake treatment from Starscream.
It just squishes him. That's awesome. Man, I love the the straight lines for the sun coming through the blinds in these panels.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
That shit is a nice little textured touch.
that's some Frank Miller shit right there, boy.
Oh yeah.
mhm.
I mean, and you
And
have
then,
the
like,
angle go
Bruce from
Dutch.
Batman.
You know, my country is lying to me, and they do this like Dutch skewed angle with all the lines going in the different directions. Like that's just a little classy panel, man. I love that. I caught so much of the composition throughout this book that just like really had me juiced up. Like we'll point them out as we go along. There's one that comes up in this issue that like kind of stopped me in my tracks, but it's him. This one where he kind of breaks out of the panel here as she's showing him all of the shit on the walls with like her designs of like the alien weapons and machines. I don't know, man. Just the isolation and the confusion that he feels in this panel, and the way they have him break out, and he's tiny amongst this giant wall of schematics and diagrams. There were just little touches like that where I was like, that's so fucking elegant and just like exquisite storytelling in the little moments, you know? How to make those things count.
There's kind of a moment like that too, like the page before where he's walking through the crowd of conspiracy theorists. They're all like colored gray, right? And it's just him and the doctor that are, regular colors and stuff. So it's like, yeah, they're the two like people who actually know what's going on versus all these like just chronically online conspiracy theorists that are just rambling about whatever.
Yeah, I was abducted. Yeah.
It's a secret society in the ice. And I love that this is like, it truly does feel like this action movie with like the pacing of information. It's like he meets this like doctor who has all the answers, and then she's killed, and it's like, oh my god, this person.
No.
Like just the convenience of like the speed of the kind of how everything transpires is great. Is it in this one too? Yeah. Where she ends up dead at the end. Yeah, spoiling for those who haven't read. Man, and then the illusion. Well, then like because I don't know GI Joe too much, but I mean I understand like Mars Industries and Destro and stuff like that, and so modernizing it, creating this espionage feel where he's going full Sam Fisher in the grates and the vents, and he's zipping down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed that part.
Dude, by the way, top selling action figure is the Stealth Duke outfit. You make one of those, that thing will freaking sell.
Oh, big time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Love this look. It's so good.
Give me all the gadgets too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Tom Riley designed some like bootleg looking like toys and stuff. So he like drew them up and then made them. So I'm assuming he's gonna have a hand in the toy line coming out for these books. I would hope.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Brock, why haven't you read Duke? It's 5 issues, dude. It's such a breeze to get through.
Yeah, it's a fun read, dude.
Yeah, you should read it. The trade is out. Read it. Man, how good are these schematics for all the tanks and the trucks and the planes?
It's sick. Gotta introduce all the toys that are about to come out, dude.
That's right.
We do see some of these in Destro too.
Yeah.
This is where I get to drop a little, hey, I did some research, because normally I don't do a lot of research when they come into this other than read the books. But listen to a few interviews with Tom, and he said like this book was so much fun because it really did challenge him to go out and if you're just drawing a book, like he's done stuff for Marvel, then if you're doing a superhero book, you can kind of make up whatever it is that you're doing when it comes to vehicles, because they're supposed to be supernatural or have some kind of sci-fi spin on them. And with this, they were very much rooted in like real life military vehicles. And he's like, so much of this, I got to go out and look at what was really out there and learn how to draw real vehicles. And then that way kind of put my own spin on it. That wasn't too crazy, but that makes everything feel so much more lived in and more grounded and realistic. And I mean, you look at these, it's like, yeah, there are tanks and spaceships in here, but like aircraft in here. Dude, the seeing the helicopters, I remember the helicopters like in the top right corner of that half-page splash that you have. It's like he nailed those spot on, but then you've got like the weird tanks and everything sitting there, so it looks like it all belongs. Like even if it is just this, sci-fi part of GI Joe, I thought this was so cool.
And then this is Captain Blood's introduction. No, this is just some vaguely Russian-looking guy.
It's Colossus.
Yeah, it does look like Colossus.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Danya.
I mean, dude, this fight sequence. I mean, this is even like in that like vaguely communist propaganda style look here. That bottom left panel. But
I
like,
was
man,
waiting for him to say Bushmoy.
dude, what a great fight sequence. I don't know. Like, it's just, it's clean.
Oh, yeah.
It's efficient. You know, getting him thrown against the window is hilarious. Dunk.
Yeah, that part's great. Like you could just be the guy walking down below, and then
And I like when Duke is in his prime, and if he's one-on-one, like it just shows how much of a badass he is. And it takes like an entire troop to be able to, hold him back while the other guy takes advantage of it. So I like also the fact that they're just, he's not some schmuck that is going in there and he's going to get beat up and tossed out. Like he legit has to have this entire army hold him down to get him out of there.
Oh my
And
god.
I even like some of the and Kev, this comes from the writing side. Why don't you kill him? Why don't you off Duke? Like, who's gonna miss him? And I like the conversation with Destro and Destro explaining like, it's okay. We can cover all this up, and then he's gonna be too scared to tell anybody.
And it's like really great characterization of the villain. Is like the arrogance, like I have so much power that no one could possibly best me. And also if he dies, there's no story. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Duke dies, and it turns out this was a one shot.
yeah, the rest of the book is just
It's them going, what the fuck happened to Duke?
Well,
Giant what if.
G.I. Joe's gonna look different.
Well, I would love to do that as a mini series, actually. Someone write this down. You pose it as like, this story about this action hero, and then he dies, and then it's up to the other people to solve it. But you do it like an episode of Columbo, where you see the death happen in the beginning, and then it's up to the guy to figure out what happened. You know what I mean? The how done it's.
it's
not the
kind of
who
like
done
the Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
You think Chris Hemsworth is gonna be the hero, and then he just gets demolished.
Well, it's like he runs into the what's it called?
Yeah.
Like takes the bike and jumps it, and then hits the
He
big
tries
wall.
to jump it, and then as he's falling. Oh god, it's hilarious. It's like a video game. Just keeps hitting a wall as he's going down the cliff.
And I love this pivot to the Reds when he finds the dead bodies, like the whole convention murdered. The I want to believe. I mean, just yeah, JORDIE BELLAIRE going fucking sicko on these colors.
Yeah,
Columbo
it's
mentions.
a great use of colors right there for that mood.
The green just from that little doohickey. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Dutch angle of all the dead bodies with this crooked hand looking kind of crazy in this
Yeah.
top of the frame. Yeah, that's good shit. Give me more of that.
Evil.
I also read this sequence, and still don't fully understand how he didn't like die. Like this is like broke my brain a little bit. You see just a hail of gunfire.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all whizzing past him. He just runs up the stairs.
Shit.
Yeah, and jumps out this window.
It's all year one. Like this is his homage to like year one
Yeah,
back, where
Totally.
he's just running
true.
past all the gunfire, right away from the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
It's
this is where-
Stormtrooper aim.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Noah.
No, it was just Stormtrooper aim. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Can't hit the broadside of the barn. Dude, onomatopoeia was like the thing at the beginning where I'm just like, where is it all? Flashback. Okay, maybe you don't add any sound effects. There's nothing because they're kind of showing, his glory reel or whatever. And then when they got to this scene, and it's just chaos. I love all the blam, 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 blam overlapping in the background, everything in the front. Like it's just chaos when it comes to the words on the page. And I thought this was just fantastic.
Also,
I mean,
I don't know why he doesn't get top billing, but Russ Wooten did the letters in this book.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Done an
Yeah.
amazing job with this.
He's one of the best working letterers. Like, why
He
don't?
does an amazing job on everything.
Yeah, he's a genius. I thought Duke was just turning into a loose cannon, but now he has a mission. He'll never stop. Nothing will get in his way. And once Duke has made up his mind, I just didn't. I should have known better. Like, there's some classic. Yeah.
Duke.
Fuck yeah. Then then they introduce Stalker and Rock and Roll. Man, fuck yeah. Then there's a great letters column in these singles, so that's one thing you are missing out on for those of you with the trade. And then of course there's little previews for Cobra Commander in the back, which is a lot of fun. I love the blood and the snow on this promo. Yeah. And what I love about Energon books, they're not filled with ads in the middle. The singles just have ads for the other books in the franchise. Which is what you
Holy
want.
smokes.
I literally open these books and I go, when the hell is the next issue come out? And then I look in the bag and it tells you a date. I'm like, oh,
Right there.
got it.
Really? Right there,
Proper
silly.
advertising. Proper product advertising.
Well, I want to know when the next book. Ooh, this cover's got kind of a match. I like that. Duke 2. Well, this is where we
My
meet.
favorite cover. My favorite cover. I love this one.
I'm quite partial to the one with Baroness on it, but that's just because I love a smoking
Mm-hmm.
hot chick with a gun. That's how I want to go out. You know what I mean? But we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is finally when we start to meet members of the gang, which is amazing. Clutch. I love the introduction of Clutch, that he's like on a beach and he's in some like tropical place with the umbrella and he's in a lawn chair and he's got his sunglasses on and a tank top. And you just pan out and he's in the middle of a junkyard on top of a trailer.
Yeah, that part's great. It's a nice name for a place too. Just saying.
Manny's Mean Machines. And I love that he's got an MIT degree.
Yes.
Yep.
That
Such
was
a
my
nice
favorite.
little detail. Nothing wrong with day old coffee.
Yeah, that's John.
I hate day old coffee so much.
And
Just
everyone should hate day old coffee.
I hate it so much.
what's wrong? You just reheat it. It's fine.
You're wrong.
Ugh.
You're burning it.
The-
It's sludge and you're burning the sludge. It's also coffee. It does not cost a lot of money. Like, just make another pot.
Just
Well, I
one
mean,
if I'm
hash,
drinking-
one go.
Dude, if I'm drinking Folgers or Kellogg's, it's not like it's
Oh,
gonna
there's
be
a difference.
quality.
There's a difference.
It's like,
not
no,
like-
if it's Starbucks, I'm not going to reheat like my Starbucks, or if I go to the local brewery and buy the coffee beans there, I'm not going to reheat that, but all that stuff's gone the day of.
Would you rather drink day old coffee or burnt coffee? Probably burnt coffee, honestly.
Yeah, burnt.
You can just put some milk in a burnt coffee and it's salvageable, but a day old coffee, the texture is fundamentally changed. It's thick. It's weird.
It's pudding.
Yeah, dude, I love slurping cocoa pudding.
You know what you do? Put a little ice in it, and then it's iced coffee.
Wrong. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So, this is the homage to Predator right here, with the fucking like nuclear handshake.
Yeah.
When that happened, I was like, this book is officially something I'm going to read all 5 issues of. It will stay in my poll. I will take this to the end. Like, are you kidding me? Give me more of that in comics. Give me 2 guys showing guy love in the most hetero appropriate way you can, which is doing this. Is there anything better? I don't think so. Just 2 fellas just like,
Love you, bro.
This is
get a little
where it
bicep
becomes
definition in there. Oh, that's hot. That's what I want.
Exactly. This is where it becomes the buddy cop side of the movies, right? You have all the action stuff in issue 1. Now you get the buddies cop 80s stuff where, you gotta have the best bud that runs around and blows up stuff with you. And that's what I love when they talk about like the you build it, I break it. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. You still have a way with the ladies. Chicks dig the cars. Like, you just hear everything delivered in this like 80s, like, just, this is clearly a scripted line and we are purely making something out of style and not substance, and that's what I fucking want, dude. Hell
Making
yeah.
comics fun again.
Yes.
The callback to this too is so funny when later on, like, there's something that happens and that Clutch gets in the accident, and like as he's laying there, semi-conscious, he's like, "Stacy, don't go," or like says her name or whatever.
Oh
He's like,
yeah.
"Now you
know.
now you remember her name."
Now you know her name. Yeah.
Oh, it's so quippy. Is you know, buddy, are you hurt? Maybe from the bullets or the glass from jumping out a window. Oh, so nothing weird then. Come on, let's get you in the shop and give you a tune-up. Yeah,
Oh man,
great
John
coverage.
really is like the MCU when it was good, when it first started. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
Just how it's
Big
built up and how it, reads.
It's like the 80s, but only how we remember the good parts and none of the Reagan and crack epidemic or AIDS parts. You know what I mean? It's like when we're just like,
Throwing
oh
the-
yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger had fucking huge arms. And we're like, yeah, the 80s ruled.
Yeah. Taking all the people with mental health issues out of the psych wards and everything. Like, you're fine, you're just lazy.
You're just lazy.
Knock it off. I prescribe you to knock it off.
Just stop being weird. Stop it.
Stop being weird.
Yeah, all the tools sick, the coverage of the the conversation happening, but with the insert of the device, the bullets in the little aluminum pan. I love it. Like, fuck yeah. And then you get some good sound effects down here, the bleep bleep bleep. Yeah. That's that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Rock and Roll's appearance with like the boom, boom, boom,
Dude,
boom.
I
boom.
love his look,
One take
man.
flash.
And him just going
Oh,
rock and roll fingers, man. The metal fingers.
Oh, dude. I mean, the fact that you get the stereo first is a perfect
Yeah.
touch. Stereo, the headphones, the fucking bullet like belt, and then the tunes coming out, and they're like, "What is that?" Make some noise, dude. Everybody's gotta have kitschy one-liners. Everybody's got to be fucking jacked, or else the book is bad. Like, that's like priority number one. They all got to look like
This
toys.
is Image, this is perfect for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I say there is one thing that I will hold against Clutch out of everything.
Sure.
Clutch is wearing socks with sandals.
I don't
Or
mind
with-
that.
I'm like, come
Let
on,
him
bro.
have it.
Oh, that's a comfortable man. Those are slides. It's different. Socks and slides is just like a leisure look. I'm all for it.
Everyone knows about the slide.
Oh yeah. I'm wearing socks and slides right now, bro.
Oh man, I'm just not cool enough. I think
Slides are
that's
my
it.
house shoes. Like I said, I'm a man of leisure and comfort.
He's wearing black socks. It's cool. It's not white socks.
It's not weird.
That's true. It's not weird. It's not weird, dude. You got
Sub
socks on,
bros.
no.
I mean, again, great onomatopoeia as they drive this thing out of the fucking. Not only do they have this thing like crunching out of this door and like all the viscera splashing, they've got it up, bouncing around, but they've also got it at this cockeyed angle, which is just great. This 2-page like just exchange. Oh yeah, you get the drones and the guns. And, oh yeah, yeah, just good action. This is just such solidly covered action. Man,
Even the interior shot of the car, like from behind, like even that angle's like cockeyed, crooked.
yeah.
Just shows so much action going on. Because I know, Manny, we've talked about how do you make a car look like it's,
Oh yeah.
just
That
Car
is
coverage
going
is
in motion.
so hard.
put it at an
Yeah.
angle, get it off of the road.
Yeah, you want it off the road. If you want to show speed, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, you also look at every action movie ever. There's always a scene where the car is.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it just,
For
like,
whatever
goes
reason, the
off.
city that they're in turns into San Francisco, and they're just
Yeah,
dropping
every
off this
time.
massive hill.
It's because it's awesome and it works.
Yeah, it looks fucking cool. I mean, everything about this book is just fucking cool. Like, there's just not a single moment where they're like not putting energy into it being like a kick-ass, cool, fun time. Every panel's packed with it. It's never too overly saccharine or sentimental or jingoistic, gung-ho America rules. Like, it's just a perfect little action story. Like,
Let's blow shit up, man. That's this story.
oh, dude, this kick.
Oh yeah, the kick is so good.
Again, everybody's jacked. Everybody's cut as hell. Like, even their fists are so big they barely fit in the handcuffs.
That's right.
Dude. Even this little POW where it's just a foot coming through the O in that bottom left panel before it goes to black. Like how much it just feels so 80s. Just boom. So good.
I loved the layout of the pit and how they showed it like top down basically and had the panels intercut to show the bottom level that they're on. I thought that was like such a sick way to demonstrate that. And also just like the moldy, dirty army greens with like the blue and blacks in the bottom. It's just fucking Jordi Belaire. Oh, colors.
Colors, Mason.
Why am I here? Aiding and abetting a known fugitive, bro. Clang, clang.
Yeah, bro in there. Yeah. It's a fun time.
And everything is just like, you know what this book feels like? It feels like the MacGruber movie. Did you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
I know. I actually haven't, man.
It's like based on the
that's great.
SNL sketch, and like the whole like MacGruber thing is like it's a MacGyver parody, and then he's always doing some weird, gross shit with the tools that he's provided to get out of the situation that they're in. They're always like locked in a room and a bomb's about to go off, and like I have floss and a carrot. How are we gonna get out of here, MacGruber? And then it's just like, and it was like an SNL skit in the early 2000s. Yeah, and they made a full movie of it, and like
Yeah, they did.
the movie is just like a straight up parody of 80s action movies in the best way. Like the whole first act is him assembling his team of like crack shot, like perfect action guys who are like ex-military. All of them are like bounty hunters and mechanics and stuff like that. And the whole cast of them are wrestlers. So it's like Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, a couple others. I think Goldberg maybe, or Kevin Nash. I can't remember. It's been a while. But then
I can't remember all of them.
Yeah, he puts them all into a car. It's like his Jeep. They're packed in there, and he's got like his own homemade C4 in the trunk, and he just blows them all up. It's like, I'm going into this alone now. It's like the rest. There's so much in that. Oh, the movie's hilarious. I need to rewatch that shit. But yeah, that's what this reminds me of, without the silliness. And then of course, Brock, this page is for you. There's there's your gal Baroness. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is for you, Brock.
That's for you, Brock. Tune in.
Although,
that's my gal. Titties. That's right. There you go, Brock. That's right, Brock. That's exactly what they are. I'm a second grade teacher. Anyway.
Oh, and if you didn't know, on the front cover of 3, look at that. You got Baroness, and then you got Duke in the background. And look, he's already spent. He has to reload.
Oh yeah, the mag slipping out is an excellent touch.
Yeah. Nice little bit of storytelling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like her. Oh yeah. And they're in the pit, and what happens? Of course, Major Blood shows up. And
yeah, what a cool looking dude.
Dude, and they made him even cooler by taking out one of his eyes.
Yeah,
And then he wears an eye patch, like for the rest of this, like G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, please.
Major Blood.
That's right, Brock.
B-L-U-D-D. Gotta have the double D's to make it full 80s.
I also like stopped and stared at this like projection of Colonel Hawk on the giant screen. I just thought that looked so good. Like, it feels very vintage, but he's just like that kind of like grayscale silhouette on the screen.
Can I say when I looked at that, I immediately thought, that's Reed Richards. Wait, that's not Reed Richards.
Dude, yeah, it's the gray on the sides.
Yeah.
Art goes dummy hard in all the Energon books. You're right, Brock, it does. I mean, when you've got Tom Riley and you've got fucking Daniel Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona on Transformers, and you got Marco on Scarlet, and who does the interiors on Destro? I don't remember.
See, I was trying to remember October too.
I've got it on my desk. Let me pull it out. Andrea Milana.
Lorenzo Del Felici on Void
Oh,
Rivals.
Lorenzo De Felici goes
those
super
look great.
hard.
I love the way Void Rivals looks, though.
Yeah, I don't love the way it's written, but I love the way it looks.
We were talking about it. You guys were like, "Do you have Void Rivals?" And I still need to pick up the trade. The only one I have is issue 8, I think, right? Kev, that
Oh,
was
because
the
you
one
saw
that's
that
like pretty
cover,
much
that was like,
full
this is sick.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's like
the second trade should be
5
coming out like
page.
really soon as well.
It's already out. I got it.
The second trade, they've
For
been
Void Rivals?
quick about those turnarounds on the trades, dude. It's like as soon as the 6th issue of that run drops, the next week they just drop the trade.
They're riding the hype, man. You
Yeah,
got
dude. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and because they know their audience, people want trades, dude. They don't want to pick up singles.
to. Me.
I say as I'm flipping through all of my Duke singles, and will continue to collect all of the Energon singles because they fucking rule, and it's just great. There's with the number of books they have coming out, there's one coming out every week, so it's just like a perfect cadence.
Yeah.
And I don't have to buy 11 X-Men titles. I can just read like 3 books at any given time, and I know exactly what I'm keeping up with. It's perfect.
Something reasonable? That's insane.
Dude, I love this. Like, what does she say? What is it? Yeah, Duke is fighting some nasty demons in his head. Everybody sounds like that in my head when I read this book. You hear me, cowboy? You know, that's the woman.
Mom is having a private pity party right now. Let him have it, lady.
Yeah, so just stop yapping like a damn little dog, okay? Like it's always like they just stopped smoking a cigarette and then they're in the middle of a laugh at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you son of a bitch.
And speaking of like another great, you don't have to, read through an entire biography. I love this 2-page splash of
Dude. Fuck yeah.
the Baroness and seeing all this stuff. You get hints where it's like she's killed people all over the place, Paris, Istanbul, Moscow, and I love just the white silhouettes where you see the
bullet holes,
gunshots, the bullet holes. Like, that's so freaking clever.
I love montages like this, dude. It's always so much fun to see the artist play around with like visuals like that, just to like, okay, you don't need to read like a whole wiki page to get it. Just like, here's a 2-page spread that just like explains what she is in like 1 minute. Go.
Right.
Give me the cliff notes.
It's laundry time. I'm just gonna leave this spread up because it looks so damn good. And I'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh man. But so since just the artist and now we got rid of the writer. I mean, we're 3 issues in. I will say, so something that I want your guys' opinion on from an art perspective. 3 issues in, I absolutely love what Tom's doing with the book and think there's so many things that he's playing with. The one thing that I felt from issue 4, so when we get there, I want you guys to tell me what you thought. I feel like he is just running on all cylinders. He has time, and he's taking the time to really be able to play with everything on the page. Issue 4, I really felt like he was under so much pressure and was probably working on multiple projects. Because for whatever reason, 4 feels like the one that's the most just rote. Like, I got to get pages done. And then back to issue 5. Like, issue 5, like, I think he knocks it out of the park. But when it comes to page design and getting to play around with stuff, so often I'm confined by the panels. And I don't know what you guys think when you get to see something like this where it's not just panel after panel after panel. If it's, well, this is different and that's cool, or do you guys kind of take it all in and feel something other than why isn't it in panels?
Well, what are you talking about? This page that we're on right now?
Yeah. Have you seen it done better? Is this something where you guys thought it was cool too? I don't know. What were you thinking?
I thought it was cool. I mean, I didn't get the vibe that it was like rushed or anything really. I didn't get that feel from it.
I think issue 4 is rushed, in my opinion. Issue 3, I still think he's on his game.
Interesting. I'm flipping through it right now.
I mean, it could well be that like maybe he just wanted to put all his energy into like the spreads and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely didn't get that vibe, like just looking at it at a glance. Maybe it's just like he just really wanted to draw the action scenes, and like when he had to get to the talking stuff, he was like, "Oh, okay,
Right.
fine."
Yeah. I get that.
That's definitely a thing. I'm sure we all can relate to that.
Yeah. Just want to draw people shooting and punching each other and whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get to the good stuff. uh,
I will say, and when Kev gets back, we'll have him flip to this. But I know we get another kind of callback to Starscream killing his buddy, like killing Duke's buddy.
yeah. Yeah.
And just seeing, we've seen the squish again and everything like that. And of course, it doesn't have as much emphasis because it's supposed to be background memory. But seeing this whole third of a page at the top where Starscream is sitting there and just looks like he's laughing maniacally. And then you look and his left hand and like Starscream's left hand, and there's legs and just blood dangling out of it. I'm like, oh my God. He finally got to, take part of that scene and really make it his own, showing some of that aftermath of what is just in his head.
Yeah. It's cool to see like how things are like connecting to with the Energon series, as it's like slowly unfolding. And I wonder what that writer's room or whatever that Dan was doing with everybody, like, okay, and then I'm gonna squish him. We can
That's exactly what
there.
happened.
Yeah.
That's what they said. I was listening to Josh Williamson's interview on Off Panel like right before Duke dropped. This was probably like November of last year. And like they were just like, yeah, like the writers room being Robert Kirkman, Daniel Warren Johnson, Josh Williamson, and Kelly Thompson. Like, you know what I mean? And I forget who wrote Destro. It's not Dan Waters, right? It's someone else.
I'm pretty sure it's Dan Waters.
Yeah, Dan Waters. Like this group of people just like in a room being like, this is what we're going to do with all these toys, basically.
That's awesome.
If those names don't excite you, you don't know enough about comic books to know that you should be excited.
That's right.
But that's okay. That's okay.
That's what you watch this stream for. You go, who's this person? And then we go over one of their books, and then you go, oh, I like that person. Then you buy their books, and then you love their books. That's how it works.
And then you buy more of this stuff. Right.
We're just taking your wallet, pointing it at a book, and say, buy that. That's all.
Except for the books we don't like.
Yeah.
True.
Which we don't talk about too much. I loved, small detail on this page, though, was just the... just a great sound effect. That fucking the bay door. And I love just the 2-page of these like Mars soldiers all descending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice little one right there.
And you get the 80s bubble, like that circle pop out with blood. Kill everyone.
Kill everyone.
There you go.
Splitting up the rumble across the 3 panels on the next page. And then like the subtlety of the boom on the bottom right.
I just love that drop down panel too. You get the reaction split across with the rumble, and then it's just the same 3, like having a little bit of dialogue between the rest of them, and just that little inset.
Dude, I know that sound. Explosions, open air missiles, and gunfire, multiple calibers, heavy artillery. I love that shit.
Closer.
Changing plans, kids. It's just like everybody's got these lines, dude. It's so much fun. I love this shit. Got the boom. Fuck yeah.
I adore the gradients that Jordi Belaire is doing here. It complements Tom Riley's art so well.
Yeah. Lets the art do the talking, or like the lines do most of the work.
But then he's not afraid to get like a little wacky, like on the following page with the blam blam blams and the guns, like the bullets streaking across the page. Just like getting those like halos around them, and that orange is really nice. And then kind of these 2 tones of oranges and blues. It's really simple, but it really pops.
Yeah.
Feels like bullets.
In a dark pit.
Well, see, that's what I think is so great. You go from those blues and violets, and then now you're mixing in the oranges, and it just becomes this like really interesting. You always have to worry about it getting too muddy, but I love how it just kind of the orange cuts through everything and just shows how claustrophobic it almost makes you feel down in this little detention center.
His fight with
Switch.
Captain Blood.
Punched in the back of the head, and I love how he calls it out too.
Kind
What kind of man sucker punches somebody in the back of the head?
do whatever it takes to win.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Boom. Gotcha.
shoots him in the leg. I love again just how massive his Blood's gun is in that bottom panel when he's holding it right in front of Duke's face. Like, you know, you've seen all these other guns that are very, you know, realistic and life size, and this thing just looks like
Oh yeah.
straight out of a Judge Dredd movie where it's just hold it right at his face, and the barrel's just
The size of half of his head.
completely oversized.
Compensating for something, my friend.
Oh ho 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 ho. Dude, and then
Yeah, his eye.
shooting him in the back of the head, and it just knocks his eye out.
Yeah.
Next issue, Escape the Pit. And I love these confidential letters pages. They got the stamps and the dirt smears and the ink splotches. These letters pages are fun. And I enjoy these because it's just Josh Williamson nerding out about G.I. Joe with his fans. And Sean Makowicz does a lot of the copy and editing too. So shout out Sean Makowicz. I've never met that guy, but I would like to because he's a very good editor and I like his stuff a lot.
Well, what I'm looking forward to is like Josh in here always talks about how he is such a fan. Like Cobra was his thing. He loved all the bad guys in G.I. Joe. And so here it is, like he's been writing the good guy stuff. And so I'm excited for like the proper G.I. Joe series just to see what the villains do. Since he always loved playing as the villain when he was a kid. So super excited.
Heck yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then we're back outside. This is Stalker. Do you read? I'm at the pit taking on heavy fire. We need backup. And this is when they realize that the system is against them. They gotta fucking fight back, dude. It's us against them. The best action movies are.
Right.
Dude, the coverage in this dialogue scene fucking rules. You get this two shot of them, the gun barrel in the face, the silhouettes of them while everyone's fighting. Then you get like these shots of the violence going on around them. You know, this one shot at this weird angle, this two shot at this really strange angle. Like, this is why you make comics. Because you can't do this coverage for conversations in a movie. And it just fucking sells the scene so well. All these fighting.
Quick question: what do you guys think about like there being no backgrounds, like when they're talking, like Duke and Baroness? Like, what do you think of that? Because that's kind of a surprising choice to me.
The textures are what sell it, though.
I think Tom was on a deadline.
That's probably part of it, but I mean the fact that you get those like halftone screens kind of in there and those like obvious brush strokes from like the marker or whatever brush they're using to just give it that subtle kind of taste. And it's also like in this moment, this is justified because it's like it's them isolated in this moment together despite the chaos going on around, which I think really sells it.
Sure. Okay.
I think it's also like I think of it as in speed. Like this moment is pretty quick. You know what I mean? There's so much action going on in the background to where like we already established where they are in the setting, so then we don't have to keep redrawing that background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's also definitely the deadline thing. But it doesn't bother me. So
Well, so like there's the kind of that odd angle where it's just the two of them. Baroness is holding the gun at Duke's head. It's that second row, far left panel. It's like I honestly just wanted to see Blood's like legs sticking out of the corner of the panel since he's, you know, hanging out down there. I
The
don't know.
fucking
why balloons went
balloons.
off. Sorry. But like you see these just two legs sticking out. I would have thought that would have been hilarious. And maybe that's why they didn't do it, because it would have just kind of undercut the action part of the scene. But yeah, this is where it's the economy of the page, right? You don't have to draw every little line here and there. But I was thinking, I really feel like Tom was trying to crank this one out. There's some not his normal amount of detail that he has in certain panels on certain characters. And you know, as we start getting further into the issue, I just felt like not the normal attention to detail that he put in the other issues. So just my own personal feeling, could be completely off. That's just kind of the impression that I got from at least
Actually,
this issue.
How dare you?
You can see some pencil
Oh.
lines, like in the bottom right panel here, where he's flipping the
Yeah.
switch. I didn't notice that before.
Ooh, that
Oh,
is
yeah.
something that's really interesting. So from an actual artistic standpoint, when he's drawing the page, so he'll do his roughs on 8.5 by 11, just printer paper, and then he will end up putting that in, kind of digitizing, just the expanding it to his full page, and then he prints that out, and then he does everything like he will repencil and then ink over all of it from that standpoint. So there are roughs, but like everything that he does, it's just over the top of the roughs. He will repencil and then he will ink on the page.
That's sick.
Okay.
I mean, he definitely gets like a lot of energy from doing that too. You know what I mean? When you like
Mhm.
try and capture that same energy you get from your thumbnail sketches, you know, because once
Yeah,
you
it's
tighten
quick.
it up,
Yeah.
like once you tighten it up, you kind of lose a little bit of life or whatever. You get a little bit tighter,
Yeah.
not so loose with the gestures and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's definitely keeping in all that energy as with that process that he's found that works for him. That's sick.
We also get one of my favorite lines on this page. How's your leg? As long as I don't put my weight on it or try to walk, I think I'll be fine.
All right, let's go.
And then he's just up and walking around.
Yeah.
Classic.
Immediately.
Oh,
Yeah.
my favorite is coming up like when we get back to blood, and the fact that you finally get the shot of that side of the face with like the eye gone, and it just looks
Yeah.
so like
Yeah, she owes me
When
an
all of his
eye.
like soldiers are like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, the one guy's like, what?
Yeah.
Well, it's also like, what a great way to characterize this villain. He's this total scumbag piece of shit, but he loses his eye and he's just like, man, fuck that chick who shot my eye out. Like, because I feel like if I got shot in the eye, my reaction would be more like, oh,
my God. Somebody fucking kill me!
The tanks, dude. We get more tanks. And there's no ammo in the tanks and they don't give a fuck. What a great fucking like moment. You thinking what I'm thinking? You build them and I break them.
I wish Duke was just Austrian for this book. Yeah, you build them and I break them. Come on, let's go. Queen.
Yeah, that's what they all sound like.
Exactly.
They're all American.
Right, normal American.
You're
Oh.
normal. Super
I
American.
talk like you.
What do you mean? I used to be adventurer like you until I took an arrow in the knee.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you go back and like do the whole like, as long as I don't put any weight on it or try to walk, I think I'll be fine.
Jesus. Demolition Derby time, baby. This fucking, I mean, I wish we could have gotten clearer shots of who's driving what. That would have been really fun. But we know Duke's in that plane, and that plane is badass.
That plane is badass.
This is Highway to the Danger Zone right here. It starts just ripping.
Oh yeah.
See, this is where I feel like it was. I feel like he was under a deadline because I could almost see if he had more time to noodle on it, like put rock and roll out of the tank, like given the horns and everything like that. Like come cruising in for this demolition derby, like that would have been something I think would have been just a nice little touch. And like you said, that way you would know kind of who's in what.
Either way it works, and I mean honestly just seeing the crashing and the thudding and the is sick. I mean this is just such a glorious moment.
Toys, right?
Yeah.
You're just putting them together.
No amount of money is worth this, and all the dudes bail. Hilarious. I mean, this is like also like the most glorious. Like they've been pinned down for 2 issues, and how are they gonna get out of here? And then it's just like this release, fucking with this 2-page spread. That's one thing I really love about this book, is that it really knows when to like make things intimate and tight and conversations, and things are in cramped spaces and they're dark, but then they open up real wide. Like I really love the play of dynamics in every issue, where there's the big moments and the small moments. Keeps the pace really moving, really. You get a lot of momentum.
Blood gets knocked over or ran over. It's great.
Oh, it's like he hits off the windshield of the car. It just happens to be a tank.
And Destro's like full-on intro, like, because we see the silhouette of him in the chair is one thing, but when we start to see pictures of him in this red jacket, oh yeah, I'm fucking loving that.
Dude, I love the red suit jacket so much.
And the jewel
Like,
on his fucking chain, dude, that's so fly.
Yeah.
Oh man. And I mean, just like the sequence towards the end where they're like, all right, now I've got my fucking missiles and I'm gonna shoot down Duke. And they fucking shoot these missiles at him. It blows up his plane. He crashes into the cliff of a mountain. This big crash with the gradient letter, just so fire. And the dude's like laughing with the smoke and the reflection of his glasses. Brilliant. And then no one is living through, huh? No organic matter detected. And it's just like, what does it take to stop this guy?
Yeah.
Fucking up. Yeah, you're just like, fucking Duke is a badass. Nothing can kill him. And then I love this because this does tie into Destro and Cobra Commander a little bit with these facilities. They do kind of circle back to this stuff, which is really sick, especially because of what happens at the end of this, which is at the end of issue 5. But man, the introduction of the Bat Trooper, fucking badass. The claw hands, big mech dude, fucking
Oh yeah.
ripping.
Yep.
And it's like, way to make the stakes constantly escalate, because it's like no army can stop this man, but what about this like programmed robots, like super soldier? You know, it's like new stakes, new challenges. It's not just the same thing over and over again. It like really, there is this like sliding scale of pace and stakes issue over issue. Just when you think he's got to win, he doesn't. You know, it's great.
I'm the Batonita.
Ooh, and then there's a promo for Creature of the Black Lagoon in the back of here.
Oh man, that book.
Yeah,
So pretty.
sick shit. Hell yeah, fellas, we're on to Duke issue 5.
Duke. Yeah.
Manny, is there any back matter in yours? Just curious.
Let me look again. There is not.
Is there
Not
like
really.
nothing like variants or anything like that?
There's just like an extra, like a little prelude to what's her name?
Scarlet.
No.
Baroness.
The Baroness. Yeah. Like
Ooh,
a
a
little.
prelude to Baroness. That's
Are they gonna
I've
give
not
her a
seen-
solo book?
Maybe. Or it might, because she's like joining the team
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Well, that's like the last panel,
Duke.
isn't it?
Kinda.
It's
I
like
mean,
their
it just
team
goes
all
more in
together.
depth. Yeah. Just goes more in depth with her a little bit. Little fun little thing.
We'll get to that panel later, but
Yeah.
Fun little
anyway.
thing.
Where the hell is
That's it.
Duke? Colonel Hawk just can't catch this guy, man. And fucking Clutch and Stryker are just gleefully fucking waiting for him.
I'm sorry, it's taking everything in me not to call him Colonel Hawk Tua.
Yeah, because he likes to spit on that thing. Isn't that right, Brock? One for my homie
Spit on
Brock.
that.
I'll spit on Brock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's all
fuck
you
yeah.
get.
They could lead us to Duke. Ugh. Battle Android Trooper, man. This thing is fucking badass. This fight is rad. This full fucking page reveal of Destro in his fly ass suit. He looks so cool. God, he looks fucking awesome. What an 80s fucking... I love that they gave him the big shoulders, the big open collar, dude, the chain. Like, they knew exactly what they were doing. He looks...
Exposed chest.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Miami Vice in this motherfucker.
oh, yeah.
Dude. Exquisite character design.
Not a speck of chest hair on him. Baby smooth.
And Destro really does his best to appeal to Duke's worst tendencies. He doesn't understand that he's talking to an American hero, a man of action. He's trying to sell him to the dark side, you know? He's like, why don't you just become a mercenary and work for me? And I love Destro's whole plot in his like ongoing, or his mini, is just the whole, the politics of the arms race and weapons dealers and stuff like that. It rules. But anyway, we're reading Duke, not Destro. We'll read Destro later. Show him what you can do, and then they get into this. I love that he drops the claw arm and puts on a fucking flamethrower. Like,
oh, yeah. Oh, cool. The headbutt. The headbutt is what got me with when Duke headbutts Destro. I'm like, that guy's got
giant
a
metal fucking head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang. This is like, ow.
Then it's like, okay, I just headbutted something metal. I'm gonna punch something metal next, and punches the Bat Trooper in the chest, and it's like, everything's broken. Fractured skull. Got to have a broken hand now.
Oh yeah, and I love that he doesn't have any bullets in his gun, so he just uses it as a fucking melee weapon. Just clubs this thing in the head, and then just
what a great breakout panel at the bottom with him running with that assault rifle or that assault rifle in his hand.
I'll still make do. I love that shit.
He's just held together by testosterone at this point. There's no way.
Yeah, dude, and patriotism because he loves his country. Fuck yeah, dude. The shot of him pulling the Bat Trooper's head off is like one of the most glorious moments in this entire series.
Yeah, that part was probably one of my favorite moments. It was like, that's metal.
The stretch that you get, because they really elongate him from his toes to the tips of his fingers, and like just the pieces like winding off of it with that fucking onomatopoeia. So that just streak of blue is so fucking glorious behind the like electricity sparks. Yeah.
So good.
And the thing's still alive, so he just beat it to death with its own head. And they like put it on like a fucking like, you know, spine basically.
That's some Predator shit.
Yeah, dude. Smash, 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 and have him thinking of fucking Starscream throughout that. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Fucking
so good.
Great little character moment for him. He's overcoming. Brock is playing with a guy named China Fart Porn. That's great.
Sounds like Brock made a new best friend.
Yeah, dude. See if he wants to join the Discord. We ain't got all day. Sorry, I just love reading the things that I find. Man, I got you, Frost. I got you. Let's go home. And then they blow the fucking place up. Him leaving away. I love the reds and the blues, almost like TV static, as like we move through it and then transition to the actual TVs. Yeah. We get a little bit of that Frank Miller talking heads on the TV, Dark Knight Returns thing. Great way to just kind of say, oh, Duke's dead, and you're like, no, he's not. You turn the page, he's not dead.
You talk about, again, just going back to the colors, and JORDIE, like, I love the way he does the blood and bruise and everything, because yeah, Duke's alive, but he's just not, he is not in the greatest of shape, and the colors, in my opinion, really help sell that, with him laying in the hospital bed, and you see all the bruising and everything around the eyes and the chin and chest. God, it's so good.
The bandage on the forehead from where he fucking headbutted Destro. And, you know, the whole thing with Colonel Hawk being like, you know, I was just doing it to protect you. Now we're actually starting a secret government organization. I'm putting a team together. It's Nick Fury at the end of fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
And then Clutch, I knew you weren't dead. Nothing keeps my boy down. He never gives up. Damn right. What are you doing out here, Clutch? And, you know, here's our setup. I want you to put together a highly special trained mission force. One that can handle these new threats on the horizon. I'm not fighting anyone's secret war. And fucking, what do you mean? One of our drones caught this thing on surveillance a few months ago. And then I hear the beginning of that fucking Linkin Park song.
Do 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 do
What I've done. With fucking Optimus Prime on the tablet. We destroy them all. Dude. Fucking yeah, great way to just like button up this story. You give Duke a small win. You set up Destro. You have the connection to Transformers. There's not an allusion to Cobra Commander yet, but that comes with the kind of crossover with Destro. These things are starting to mesh together. And G.I. Joe hasn't even infiltrated back into the ongoing Transformers run yet. So it's like they're taking their time. They're really like setting the stakes in the Transformers series. I love this book as just like a small piece of a bigger puzzle, but you can also read it and like not need to read anything else if you don't want to. Dude, these books, I give them a 2 biceps out of 2. Two beefy, muscly biceps out of 2.
That's good. That's a good one.
I give this 9 bullets in a magazine out of 9.
Solid.
It's solid. It is. So I mean, just to wrap it up from my side, it's a ton of fun. I like the 5-issue format, and I'm so glad that they're doing all these offshoots in like a 5-issue, because it's a great way to introduce the character, kind of give them the background that you want to help set the stage for everything that they're going to do. Like, what is this character going to represent from now into the future, and building that all, from scratch again, being able to tell that story. And again, having the roots and everything else that's gone before. Such a nice way to start this universe. And again, like, Kev, you and Noah pointed out, it's 5 issues. If you're, worried about investing and like having to spend 24 issues worth or 32 or something crazy like that, it's real short. It's simple. It gives you a great creative team. I mean, hell, every one of these Energon books, the creative teams are just phenomenal. And I love the way they're doing it. It wraps up real easy in a trade. And they can just crank this stuff out. And I think, as we pointed out, they're taking their time, and they've got a tremendous creative force that's building this whole thing. So if you're wondering what the G.I. Joe universe is going to look like, Duke is, in my opinion, the best place to start to find out whether or not you're going to enjoy what's going on, seeing as how the same creative team is also kicking off with G.I. Joe in November.
Yes. What I love about the Energon universe is that it is not like reading Marvel, where every story is basically the same story in a different hat. Like, right. And it's the same tonality. Like, Duke is very much your 80s action movie. It's Predator, it's Cliffhanger, it's like all these like ridiculous movies, kind of all their best parts put into one. Cobra Commander's got this like almost like backwoods horror thing, but it's also got this science fiction thing going on that's really fun. Destro is this like political arms race. Scarlet is like this espionage story about a ninja assassin. And like Transformers is like almost mythic fantasy. It's like huge scale storytelling. And so like there's a little something for everybody. You can really stretch your legs and like get acquainted with these characters in these fun little kind of almost experiments. And like I just can't wait for more of this to gel. This was pitched to me. Jermaine from Acme Comics pitched this to me as, this is the coolest, like most exciting thing going on in comics, and you don't want to miss it. And he was 100% right. Like, I got the first issue of Duke and then all the issues of Transformers and Void Rivals that were out at the time. This was early this year. And I'm so glad I caught up and then started pulling this on a weekly basis, monthly basis, like, because I've just loved these books. Essential part of my pull list.
Hell yeah. I just wait for a trade.
Yeah. They come out fast anyway, so it's really not going to be...
Yeah.
If you just wait till the end of the 5 or 6 months that the trade, like the issues are coming out, the book will come out immediately after that. So if you're cool waiting 6 months for a book, by all means, it goes by fast.
Yeah, I mean, I went to go get like the first volume at Ultimate, and then as I walk in, I see the second volume right there for Void Rivals. I was like, oh, okay. It's already up. That was fast.
Noah, closing thoughts.
Well, Transformers is what my first Energon book, right? But this is what really sold me on Energon in general. So I really enjoyed it. I love like how this is like both its own standalone thing, but it's also like world building. It's just how this whole deal. It's what makes it work so well. It's just like get a killer creative team, let them do their thing within this sandbox, and then just watch it all come together. That's what's so great about this. So if you guys haven't read it, please read it. It really is something special.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
You heard the man.
And again, you don't have to get the singles. The trade is out. The trade is out for Cobra Commander. The trade is out for Transformers Volume 1. Volume 2 is coming out anytime now, I'm sure. Void Rivals 1 and 2. I think of Void Rivals as almost this afterthought because it's not based on any IP, but it does interweave a lot of deeper Transformers lore. If you're into the Kirkman thing, by all means, get Void Rivals 2, but which we are going to talk about in a couple weeks. So this is going to be our Energon sprint of books. We're going to catch up to everything that's released in trade right now. So next week we will be going over Cobra Commander as kind of a compliment to Duke, and then we'll go into Void Rivals trade 1, and then go back to more kind of creator-owned stuff, less tied to IPs probably after that. But as always, if you want to get these books, you should go to your local comic book store. You have to go to Acme Comics in Greensboro if you're in the Triad. You have to go to Capital Comics or Ultimate Comics in the Triangle. You got to go to Fight or Flight in the Triangle. You got to go get some used comics from nice price books. Go to any store. If you got an LCS, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, so that when I'm traveling, I can spend my money at your favorite LCS, because I love buying comics. It's a problem.
It's the best kind of problem.
It's not a problem, it's a lifestyle.
It is.
That's
I
right.
consider it research.
That's right.
There you go, there you go. I'm using that one.
Someday I'm going to
I'm
write
using that
someday
one.
I'm going to write off every comic book I buy as a work expense for research, and it's going to be glorious. As always, join the Discord if this conversation engaged you. If you had a thought and you were like, I want to contribute my feelings about this book or other books, or if you just want to talk comics, video games, movies, talk about your art, the things you're working on, your writing, that's what that community is there for. You can get there by clicking the link here, down on my Twitch, on the YouTube, or you can just go to mouthbreathersguild.com. You can find our books. You can find links to all of our stuff. As always, we love you. Kisses, sweet dreams, and good night.
All right.